Hi everyone, welcome to the short webinar. Hope you get some value out of it. My name is Clinton Bothman. I'm the owner and legal practitioner director of CMB Lawyers. We're a Sunshine Coast law firm in Maud Street in Maroochydore, and we specialize in commercial and property law. I'm an Australian legal practitioner and I've been admitted to practice in both the Supreme and High Courts of Australia. I've practiced commercial law for over 20 years and I'm passionate about providing beautiful law. If you've got any questions about what I'm talking about today, please send me an email, clintonbothma@cmblawyers.com.au, or contact us via our website, cmblawyers.com.au, and I'll try and get answers to you. I've been asked today to answer 4 questions from my perspective to assist business owners in these challenging economic times. The questions are, number 1, what financial assistance is there available to employers? Number 2, how best can I manage my cash flow? Number 3, my thoughts on the medium and long-term outlook to this current situation. And number 4, what can I do to prepare financially for the next couple of months? Okay, so let's jump straight in. Number 1, what financial assistance is there available to employers? Well, both the federal and state government have provided stimulus packages to assist businesses affected by COVID-19. The list of stimulus packages from the federal government is available on their Treasury website on the Economic Response to Coronavirus page, and includes things like the JobKeeper payment, cash flow support for SMEs through credits on activity statements, temporary relief for distressed businesses relating to insolvency actions, increasing the instant asset write-off threshold, supporting businesses to retain apprentices and trainees. Now, I don't want to talk about all of these, but I just want to highlight a few of these packages that are of particular interest to me in my business. And firstly, the JobKeeper wage subsidy is for eligible SME employees who have been affected with a 30% decline in business because of COVID-19. Now, it's a hard thing to do, but you have to establish this 30% decline, and a business would have to do that by showing a downturn in the relative month or quarter, depending on their natural activity statement relative to the same period last year. This is really hard. Not all businesses will qualify, especially new businesses or businesses that can't show that significant decline because they've grown significantly and their income in the same period last year does not reflect where they're at now. But essentially, the JobKeeper payment will be a fortnightly payment of $1,500 to eligible employees of businesses that qualify for the subsidy. It's really important. You still need to qualify. Once you get it, the employer is obliged to pass on that subsidy to the employee, and it's taxable in their hands, in the employee's hands. Now, the legislation supporting the JobKeeper went through Parliament yesterday, but we'll have a much better idea of what this means to us in the coming days. Still on the federal level, there's also the cash flow boost for employees. For employers, what this is, it's an automatic credit on your BAS lodgement. It's not cash in your hands. Now, if you don't have the money to make your BAS payments, it's not really going to help you much, but it's still very effective, and it gives you a credit against your BAS payments of between $20,000 and $100,000. Also on the federal level, there's a temporary relief for financially distressed businesses with a 6-month safety net against insolvent transactions. So, for example, the statutory demand, which is very important in my area of work. We deal with stat demands a lot. Under normal circumstances, if your company was issued with a stat demand for a liquidated amount in excess of $2,000, failure to have it set aside by a court in 21 days or not paying it will lead to a presumption of insolvency, and an application could be made to wind up your business. Under these circumstances, the base amount for issuing a stat demand has now been lifted to $20,000, and the time to answer it is now 6 months. This is a significant relaxation. We are currently dealing with a client who just missed out on this and is now having to deal with a 21-day period in which they have to get the stat demand set aside. And in these challenging economic times, that's quite a challenge. There's also the government assistance loan. Now, what this is banks are offering an unsecured 3-year term loan of up to $250,000 to customers to assist them with their business expenses. The offer will be available with a 6-month payment-free option with interest to be capitalized at the end of the 6-month period. Now, this loan is only available until the end of September 2020, and it's available to both existing and new customers of the bank. So you don't have to be an existing customer, but you still have to meet eligibility criteria. It's really important. It's not a guarantee, it is still done on eligibility criteria. These loans will be offered at a 4% discount to current unsecured small business loans, which means that the interest rate on these loans will be somewhere in the region of about 8.5%. And what it is, it's in support of the federal government small business loan scheme, which will see the government guarantee 50% of the new loans issued by eligible lenders to small and medium-sized businesses. Still with this, looking now at the state government, they have perhaps the best loan assistance scheme, and I urge you to have a close look at this package from the Queensland government. QRIDA is the Queensland Rural and Industry Development Authority, and you need to check out this option. Google it, QRIDA loan, that's QRIDA, Google it. What it is that its concessional loans are being made available for up to 50% of an eligible entity's annual wage expense to a maximum of $250,000. Now, the eligibility criteria is lenient, but you must still have been in business from the 1st of July 2017. So there's a number of businesses that will miss out on this. Go to their website and check it out, and they've got a PDF document there with a full list of the eligibility criteria. Now, security for this loan, loans of up to 100,000 will need no security. Over 100,000, the only security they're asking for is a general security agreement against the business. The term of the concessional loan is 10 years. The first year will be repayment and interest-free, with only interest payments for the second and third years. Principal and interest will follow for the balance of the term. Get this, at 2.5%. Pretty good. It's the pick of the bunch. Check it out. Google it. Question number 2, how can I best manage my cash flow? So this is a really hard question, and managing cash flow is not only in these kind of trying economic conditions. And the tips that I can offer you on this is something that we're busy doing in our business at the moment. So what we're looking at cash flow lockup, we're looking at creditors, we're looking at overheads, and we're looking at finance. So first of all, lock up your cash flow. Some of the tips that we're doing to lock up our cash flow, we're billing more often. We're trying to stop bill surprises as well by offering fixed fees and also quotes before we actually do the business. We're encouraging upfront payments, or we're making definite payment arrangements that are confirmed in writing. We're trying to reduce the terms. So if you've got 30-day terms, reduce them to 14 days. One of the things that we're also trying to do is be more diligent in following up on our debtors. Call them, speak to them, negotiate with them. You'll be surprised at the response that you get from it. Now, one of the things that we often find sometimes, if you ever try to pay something and it's so hard, make it easy for them to pay you. Now, with your creditors, check if early discount payments apply. If you can afford it and you can get the discount, do it. One of the best tips I can give you with your creditors is to keep a good relationship with them. Talk to them and let them know what's happening. And if you need it, ask for longer. Ask for longer if you need it. Look at all the options that are available to you as well. There are a lot of good offers out there. And if you look, you'll get a really good deal elsewhere. It might be time to change suppliers. Overheads. Know every single one of your overheads and ask yourself the question, do you really need it? If you do really need it and you need to ask for longer to pay, ask, pick up the phone, communicate. Ask them for an alternate payment plan. With finance, the best tip I can give you is know your banker. Know who he is and know your banker. And with that banker, review what you have in place now and also know what's available to you. You might be surprised at the assistance they can give you without having to go into the stimulus packages. Communicate with the bank and know what your obligations are. Know when you have to pay things, know how much you have to pay. Don't only rely on finance for survival. Be agile and diversify. So, question number 3. What are your thoughts on the medium to long-term outlook in this current situation? This is a really hard question. I think nobody really knows the answer to this. So at best we can speculate. But if we have a look at specifically Queensland and the Queensland economy and how it affects us, Queensland tourism and education have been the hardest hit sectors. Now, we know that the travel restrictions have deterred both holiday and business travelers, but also on the international education and training sector, they've been significantly impacted. There's been 100,000 Chinese students that have been unable to start the 2020 academic year in Australia. Of that 100,000, 32,000 of those are in Queensland. Now, both the tourism and education sectors are significant contributors to the Queensland economy, and they will have a flow-on effect to supporting sectors like retail, entertainment, and agriculture. On the export front in Queensland, exports of coal and gas from Queensland to China have slowed significantly because of the slowing demand in China since the end of January. So what's next? Again, so difficult to predict. We don't know how long COVID's going to last, and also the associated economic disruption. So in 2002 and early 2003, the SARS epidemic significantly impacted retail, entertainment, and the tourism sectors. But that was only temporary, and growth returned to normal within the year as the outbreak was brought under control. Now, China's economy has grown significantly since SARS, and they've become integrated with global supply chains, and they have a greater influence on the world economy than in the past. So it's probably pretty unwise to compare SARS and COVID. PwC of this week estimated that about $34 billion will be wiped from Australia's GDP over the next 12 months. Who knows how long it's going to take to recover from that, and also to restore consumer confidence. So in the short term, I think businesses should focus on continuity strategies, but in the medium to long term, I think businesses should be lean, agile, and they should look to diversify as much as possible. So question number 4, what can I do to prepare financially for the next couple of months? What I've done, I've compiled a 7-point checklist that we're applying to our business, and I'll share that with you. Number 1, check your eligibility for government assistance. We've spoken about the government packages. Have a look, apply for them. Number 2, review your current debts, both business and personal, and negotiate with banks and other financiers to stop or defer payments where applicable. Also, it's now the perfect time to look around and see what's on offer. There's lots of good deals out there, lots of things that you could do to maybe replace your finance with new finance, refinance. Number 3, communicate with your staff regularly. It's important to communicate with your staff about what is happening in your business and also with your clients. All staff are concerned about the future, and people can make irrational choices when in this position. Be calm and clear in what you're telling them. Number 4, convert debtors to cash and try and look after other small business owners where possible. Follow up on all your debtors and try and get overdue amounts in. You might need to consider negotiating payments based on what they can pay in the current circumstances. Also, small businesses need to stick together in these times. Every bill you don't pay to another small business may be the moment they go bust. Keep that in mind. Look after small businesses where you can. Number 5, try and defer your tax payments. Look after your cash. ATO is willing to listen at the moment and help. Talk to them about your BAS, your income tax, and your super. Speak to them. Right now they're willing to listen. It's important because assistance is not automatic yet. You need to contact them. Number 6, do a business health check. Are your structures right? Do they give you the best asset protection? Who owns your IP? Who owns your business assets? Are your terms and conditions up to date? Are your wills up to date? Do you have a business succession plan? All these things we do with businesses on a regular basis. It's actually eye-opening how many businesses do not have these things in place. And it's times like this that they actually get found out. It's also times like this that it's time to take stock of these things. Do a business health check. Get these things in place now. Number 7, know your current financial position like a CFO. Prepare monthly cash flow forecasts and keep them updated. Know where every dollar goes and when it goes. Be like a CFO. I hope this has been helpful, and remember that you're welcome to contact me at any time. Thanks for listening. Keep well and stay safe.